The night was supposed to be perfect. Our company had organized a grand annual gala, the kind of event where reputations were polished, networks were expanded, and appearances mattered more than anything else. I had spent weeks preparing for it, my dress was hand-picked, my hair and makeup flawless. I wanted to look stunning, not just for myself, but for my husband, Daniel. He wasn't just my partner in life, he was also my anchor, the man who always stood by me even when I faltered. But that night, something inside me shifted, a dangerous mixture of pride, temptation, and a need for validation I couldn't explain. The ballroom shimmered with chandeliers, laughter, and clinking glasses. People mingled in designer suits and gowns, everyone trying to outshine the other. Daniel, as always, stayed calm and dignified, talking to a few colleagues, smiling politely. But he was never the type to seek the spotlight. I, on the other hand, thrived in it. And when Ryan, the charming, smooth-talking senior executive, pulled me into his circle, I felt that spotlight burn brighter than ever. Ryan was magnetic, the kind of man who knew exactly what to say to make you feel seen, admired, irresistible. His compliments flowed like champagne, bubbly and intoxicating. I knew Daniel was watching from a distance, his quiet eyes on me, but I ignored the warning in my chest. I laughed a little too loudly at Ryan's jokes, leaned in a little too close when he whispered something that was supposed to be funny but was laced with flirtation. The crowd noticed, people exchanged glances, and I could almost feel the whispers forming around us. Then it happened, the moment I can never erase from my memory. Ryan brushed his hand along mine, a fleeting touch, but one that lingered far too long. And instead of pulling away, instead of reminding myself that I was married, I let it happen. Worse, I smiled. That was the line. The line between loyalty and betrayal. Between respecting Daniel and humiliating him. The room went silent for a second. Not literally, but in my mind, everything around me blurred. Because when I looked across the room, I saw Daniel. He wasn't angry. He wasn't storming over to cause a scene. He wasn't even frowning. He just stood there, his hands in his pockets, his expression calm, his silence louder than any words could ever be. And that silence cut through me like a blade. I expected him to come to me, to pull me away, to confront Ryan, to defend what was his. But Daniel didn't move. He just gave me a look that said everything, I see you. I know. And you've made your choice. I panicked. I tried to laugh it off, to step back, to shake off Ryan's hand as if it meant nothing. But it was too late. Everyone had seen it. My colleagues, his colleagues, even strangers in the room, they all saw me cross the line. And they saw my husband's silence seal the truth. The rest of the evening was a blur. Daniel didn't come near me. He didn't raise his voice, didn't cause drama, didn't embarrass me further. That should have been a relief, but it wasn't. It was worse. His restraint, his dignity, it made my betrayal shine even brighter under the harsh lights of judgment. By the time the gala ended, whispers had turned into conclusions. I wasn't just the wife who flirted with another man, I was the woman who humiliated her husband publicly. When we got home, I braced myself. I expected yelling, accusations, tears, anything. But Daniel simply removed his jacket, placed it neatly on the chair, and looked at me. His silence stretched into eternity. Say something, I finally begged, my voice trembling. He shook his head slowly. What is there to say? You showed me who you are tonight. And you showed everyone else too. I tried to explain, to call it harmless, to say I didn't mean it. But my excuses fell flat. Even I didn't believe them. Because deep down, I knew it wasn't harmless. I had craved Ryan's attention. I had basked in it. And I had chosen it over the quiet, steady love of the man who had given me everything. Daniel slept in the guest room that night. The next morning, he left early for work without a word. And that silence became my punishment, day after day. He didn't fight me, didn't demand explanations, didn't chase after me to fix what I broke. He simply withdrew, leaving me alone with the echo of my choices. At work, the stares were unbearable. People pretended to be polite, but I could feel the judgment in their eyes. Ryan, of course, moved on quickly. He wasn't the one with everything to lose. I was. And with every passing day, I realized the weight of what I had destroyed. It wasn't just my marriage. It was the trust, the respect, the sacred bond we had built. Daniel's silence wasn't just his reaction, it was his decision. He chose not to fight for me, because he shouldn't have to. Love wasn't supposed to be defended against betrayal. Love was supposed to be protected by loyalty. Weeks later, he finally spoke the words I feared most. "I don't hate you," he said quietly. "But I can't stay with someone who humiliated me and called it nothing. You crossed a line, and you can't uncross it." And just like that, he walked away. No drama, no shouting. Just silence, final, devastating silence. Now, whenever I look back at that night, I don't remember Ryan's charm or the laughter or the glamour of the gala. I only remember Daniel's eyes across the room, filled with quiet hurt, and his silence that told me I had lost him forever. Everyone watched as I crossed the line. But only one person's silence mattered. And it said it all.